Before any of us stepped foot in this world, there was a people who refused to bow. A people born from fire and baptized in steel. The Sikh empire was not built on wealth or fear. It was built on the back of the warriors who stood unshaken from those who tried to erase them. For generations, the world tried to push against us. There were empires, rulers, invaders that think they could break us. But every time they tried, something else rose instead. A spirit that would not die. And that's the spirit I was born into. Not a bloodline of kings or soldiers, but a bloodline of resilience. A lineage carved from discipline and faith, and the refusal to surrender, even when surrender seemed easiest. My name is Sunder Singh. I'm an MMA fighter out of Punjab, India. Fighting started becoming a sport for me after probably my first 2 fights. I just kind of said to myself, this is something I wanted to do in the long term. This is something I can, excel on and have success in.
When I first met Sundar and began the training, it took me not too long to realize that he was one of 100. He has this resilient desire to be the best that he can be. That must have come from his early stage when he first came to the country. He had to prove himself every single day.
When I first came from India all the way to New York when I was 13, definitely for me it was a big challenge. As I got used to going to school here, learning the language, all the kids would kind of pick on me and stuff. But then I was showing the real side of me, who the Punjabis really are. And for me that was like a big change where I had to kind of show who I am.
When I first started working with Sunder, one of the first things I noticed is that he's the first person in the gym and the last person out of the gym. His work ethic is next to none.
When nobody's watching and I'm training, I'm always thinking what can I add to my game? Maybe another head kick combo that I can end the fight with and knock my opponent out. You can always progress your style.
Sunder's just one of those guys, man. I feel like no position for him is a bad position. You're gonna have him on his back. He might hit you with something you've never seen before. He's great with jiu-jitsu, his wrestling's awesome. He's tough all around. I don't think you could have him in a bad position.
His evolution has become truly remarkable. His goals has become a major endeavor in his life.
The work-life balance for me has always been a challenge. Outside of being a fighter, I'm a peace officer. I work with the sheriff's office. I'm a county. I have 2 lives. I have fighting and I have the job that I focus on. So I feel like the right answer to balance this would be structure. At my fight camp, I'm able to structure what time I go to work at and what time I train at.
In this game, you have to give 100%. You have to give up so much.
The consequences of the sport is an unforgiving game, man, You can get choked out, unconscious. That opponent that I have set for in 5 weeks I have to fight, that's my motivator for this. If somebody pushing me, then I wouldn't really have the energy after work, right? So it's definitely the opponent that I focus on.
Help me welcome Sunder, the Punjabi finisher, Singh!
I believe every fight has a lot to teach, right? Even my losses, even the wins. Like a lot of fighters, after they win, they're like, oh, I won. Now I can go on like a 1 month binge. I can eat whatever I want or do that. But not for me. It's I'm always back in the gym the next day. I'm working on my tools. We look at the things we did right. We look at the things we did wrong, and we just try to make ourselves a better fighter.
What stuck out to me most at the beginning with training Sundar is his intense training regimen. He stays focused all the time. He's always asking me to do more. Can I do more mitts? Can we work on this? Can we work on that? But I think more than anything, it's his lifestyle. He's super dedicated, super composed, and he lives the right life. Being humble is a really huge factor in becoming a champion because you're gonna get grounded in this sport, whether it's the MMA or the boxing, and that's what Sundar has. He carries himself like a champion.
Well, the qualities that he possesses, I truly believe is family-oriented. Is the way his parents raised them, and the culture.
मतलब कि सान खुद ਲਈ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਖੁਦ ਹੀ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਕੁਝ ਆ ਬਣ ਸੀ ਬਸ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੀ ਪੜ 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 ਲਗੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਖੁਦ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ
ਕਿ ਵਧੀਆ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ, ਬਾੜੀ ਕੰਪਨੀ ਵੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣਾ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਨਾਲ ਪੜ੍ਹਾਈ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੇਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਵਧੀਆ ਅਫਸਰ ਬਣਨਾ, ਨਾਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਗੇਮ ਵੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਜੀ।
My lineage is everything to me in that cage. We come from a warrior lineage, you know. It was do or die back then, you know. Now I'm just going to their cage to fight. What they did, all the sacrifices that they had, it's a big part of the motivation for me, you know. I follow the culture. I'm very close to God. All the bad things to let go. Sikhi helped me with that, you know. I never chose to drink or smoke. I live a pretty, you know, normal life. It kind of like relates with MMA because it kind of only made me do what our warriors have been doing since the old ages. My family's always been my biggest supporter. You know, coming from the Punjabi culture, they want you to be pharmacists. They want you to be doctors. If I was any other culture, like if I was born here, like they wouldn't really say anything. But just coming from where I come from, like they want you to have like a respectable occupation, you know, because nobody knows what the MMA fighter is. So me picking this path, man, it's really challenging in the beginning. But obviously, once they saw what I can do with my hard work, that's it, man. Now they understand.
ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਡਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਬੜੀ ਖਤਰਨਾਕ ਗੇਮ ਆ ਤੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਗੇਮ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੌਕ।
I believe his culture, the way it is, they're just so dedicated. I've never seen him break any plans that he wants to do.
I took a jiu-jitsu match 2 weeks before the big title fight that I had against Danny Fox, who was undefeated opponent. I told the promoter that I'll do a jiu-jitsu match. The fight just happened to be the 2 weeks after. So something that I made a promise to, and I had to get it done, which was a big risk. I could have got injured. For me, it was just, you know, like a warm-up. I think it was like a pre-fight jitters, getting the jitters out of me and just making me better for the fight. Even though some fighters might be like, all right, it's risky, but for me, it's like, all right, I'm almost doing another fight before a fight. So it's like an opportunity to feel that nervous energy. And that's why I ended up winning.
Yeah, it kind of just looks like Singh's jiu-jitsu is just one step ahead of him.
Oh, I mean, brown belt versus purple belt, so
Yeah.
see those ranks are well deserved.
Oh, yeah.
Sunder Singh.
Getting out of this. They gave him, that means they gave him the first and second.
Yeah, all judges, right?
Yeah, all judges gave him all 3 rounds.
We did think that first round could have gone either way, so we were interested to see how that was going to go.
Yeah, definitely a really good fight, real competitive fight.
A lot of people think like fighters are supposed to be like these big muscular beings and like they're supposed to have like this crazy aura, but no, like anybody could be a fighter. Like you could be like a 135 pound like black belt and you could take out like a 200 pound bodybuilder. You know, fighting, it's an art. I had this one fight against this big wrestler, Nick Ross. It was above like 2 weight classes above me. I took the fight. It was definitely a fight that made me battle tested.
Most people would have given up. But what set him apart from the rest is that he overcame one of the most difficult moments that I ever seen a fighter.
Round 1 was pretty close.
Oh, goes for a flying knee bar again! Sunder Singh, the deadliest ground game on the planet. The reset. Oh, Nick Ross is in trouble. Trying to defend.
The second round, he landed like a nice 3-piece combo and he hurt me.
Nice right, lefts, rights, and lefts from Nick Ross. Oh, he's rocked. He's in trouble. Sunder's in trouble.
And then that was the round they definitely gave to him. That kind of made me realize, like, all right, now I have to finish him.
At that moment, I discovered that we have something really special in our hands.
Going to the third round, I tried to finish him. I rocked him a couple of times.
Lefts and rights, lefts and rights. Nice lefts and rights, nice lefts and rights from Sunder Singh. Knee to the body, exchanging knees. This is an amazing fight.
I didn't really get the finish, but I kind of knew, I was like, all right, it could go either way. After the fight, they gave the decision, they raised his hand. I go in the backstage, I'm like, wow, like that was a crazy fight, you know? I couldn't even think straight, but after taking some days off and realizing, like, okay, we didn't get the job done, but now I can go back and can focus on the growth of my game.
A fighter must learn from his mistakes. You cannot be an excellent fighter unless you experience failure. Failure will provide for you the necessary tools to improve.
Win or lose, we're just truthful with him. We go back to the drawing board, we look at some of the film, and we find out what mistakes we've made. After we figure that out, we change those mistakes. And Sunder is one of the best guys at changing his mistakes, and you've seen that in his career.
I've always picked myself up from losses, and that's something that's special about me because not a lot of fighters can do that, you know? A lot of fighters lost and they go on these 3-month breaks or 4-month breaks. I'm back in there like next week. So for me, that fight just leveled me up to a whole different caliber, even though it was a loss. The two fighters that I would say I can relate myself most to is Charles Oliveira and Dustin Poirier. Both of the fighters have had an extremely hard journey.
It's already busted up. Out cold. Oh my goodness. He called it.
Dustin's got to be careful here. Oh, that's tight.
Oh, it's out. Islam Makhachev with a submission in round 5. The throne remains in Makhachev.
They can always bounce back from no matter how bad they lost. They can get knocked out, choked out, they still come back and they finish the next fight.
The body for Charles and a right hand. Chandler is now Chandler is it's out. Charles is the undisputed UFC lightweight champion. What the hell? Congratulations.
The only reason I can relate to them is I'm very good at dealing with adversity.
Some of the things that I've seen Sunder push through is here at Vamos, we have a lot of really good fighters. One of the top champions we have here, he goes with, daily, and he has to, go through some tough rounds. Some of them, are very difficult. Some are on the bottom, some are on the top, but he doesn't shy away from those tough rounds, and I think that's what makes him such a great fighter today.
Without my teammates, I would never get the results I'm getting. They help me level me up to a whole different level because every time we spar, it's like a fight.
There's been plenty of times where me and Sunder have been, doing rounds, and I just stop and ask him, like, what'd you just do to me? That's when I realize he's different.
Even when we go easy, like we're always trying to kill each other. Everybody's after each other in this gym. You show up, you're having a bad day, you're gonna get your ass beat. So you come in the gym, you prepare, you have to be on your A game. They are the reason that I am getting in that cage and getting what I want. The fight against Danny Fox, very respectable opponent. I really wanted to get inside his head even in the fight. We had 1 minute rest after every round. I wouldn't even take the whole rest. So I just got up, 30 seconds, I'm like, yo, let's go, I'm good to go. He looked at me, he was all tired, he wasn't ready for it. He saw in my eyes, like, this guy doesn't even need a rest. So he already had loss in his mind. Fighting me, like, you're gonna have to go to the deep waters, because if you didn't prepare yourself to the best of your abilities, you're gonna have a long night, and that was a long night for him.
You could see Disco's face there, like, damn, I'm down again.
Well, in round 2, you just got up looking so frustrated.
It's crazy because no matter how much I hate the guy or I love the guy in there, I'm gonna punch him as hard as I can, right? If I had, something personal against him, it doesn't matter, we're still gonna fight. Nothing changes of how much I hate or love the guys.
I have a great deal of respect for the Japanese samurai, the Bushido way. It's a disciplined, respectful, and honorable way of living and serving others, the most important core that I try to pass on to my students.
One of the best fights I've ever had, without ever a question. I started talking to him, he started talking to me, and then a fight broke out. I had to be held back, he had to be held out, but obviously when something like that happens, you just want to go in there, kill the guy, and that's when you get knocked out. My coach just told me, yo, you have to be composed. Get your head out of your ass, you have to be zoned in. This is a fight now. So I use my composure to calm me down, and I follow the game plan, man, because that's what the best fighters in the world do.
There's the tap.
Sunder Singh!
One of the things I try to instill with all of my fighters is believe, and sometimes that helps with his culture as well, his belief systems and stuff like that. Just believing in this world, I think, will help you get so much further.
I don't need 10,000 people to believe in me, because if I don't believe in myself, I'm nothing. It's not gonna get me anywhere. So that first thing is believing in myself and working as hard as I can. And the rest is history, man. So when they watch the documentary, I'll be on the big stage, and I believe that. So that's what we're working for now, and I truly believe that God has a plan for me.
Sunder's true ceiling, I think, will be the top. I think he will become a world-class fighter because of his dedication. He's the hardest worker in the room.
One of the big things I'm looking to do next year in my fight career is definitely making my professional debut to India. That would mean everything to me, man. Going back where I was born, making my debut there, and getting all the people behind me, that's gonna be the next step.
I truly believe that within the next year or so, he's going to be heard worldwide.
He's the nicest guy. I'm so glad to be one of his friends and be on the team as him. Yeah, I think he's going to the top.
In the next 5 years, I'm looking to be a PFL world champion, a Bellator world champion, you name it, UFC, Contender Series. I want to be the best fighter that's ever been born in Punjab. I want to be the picture to my people, you know? People think bravery is loud, but our bravery has been quiet for centuries. In our prayers, in our sacrifice, is how we continue to stand tall when the world expected us to fall. But their footsteps still echo in me, their stories still breathe in my chest. Their battles still shape the way I fight today, because they survived everything meant to destroy them. And earlier, I asked myself a question: what will I do for what they left behind? Now I know. I'm not here to recreate an empire. I'm not here to wear a crown or raise a flag. I'm here to carry forward the one thing that they fought so hard to protect for, which is our spirit. A warrior is not defined by the battles fought in the past, but by the battles he chooses today. And my fight isn't with kings or armies. It's with myself, with doubt, fear, pain, and every voice that says, I'm not supposed to be here. When I step on the mats into the cage, I'm not alone. I walk in with the strength of those who refuse to be erased, those who kept their faith when everything was taken from them, those who chose courage when the world chose violence against them. If they could see us now, Sikhs in every corner of the world, standing strong, building new futures, carrying their values into places they never imagined, I think they'd be proud. Proud that their sacrifice didn't end with them. Proud that their spirit didn't stay in the past. Proud that we're still fighting, not to survive, but to thrive. This is the future I believe in, where our history, it doesn't chain us, it lifts us. One where the warrior spirit continues, not in the borders or empires, but in our hearts. And as long as I keep walking this path, their story continues.